What is up, everybody? Hope you're all good. I got a question on the 500 subscriber survey, which basically asked, what do you need to sample vinyl? And I've been telling you like how to sample it, different ways you can chop it and stuff, but if you can't actually get it into the form that you can sample it, then you're gonna have a big problem. So that's what we're doing in this video, showing you kind of the stuff I've got. It's pretty simple, so this might only be a short video, but hopefully it helps. So it really depends what way you're doing it. You can either do it like the MPC, slightly more old school way that I do it, or you can just sample it straight into your computer. I'm going to show you this way first because that way is actually more simple. What you've got here is you're obviously going to need a turntable and loads of records, all your favourite ones. Then it's obviously going to come out the back into a mixer or a preamp that you've got. This mixer obviously has a phono preamp in it, all of them do, unless they're like a really cheap, modern, basic one. But this one has phono in because you can switch from phono to line. Line just means kind of normal, so phono obviously, the way they master vinyl and record it into the actual plastic itself, they cut the lows and boost the highs. So the phono input boost the lows and cut the highs to, like, you know, obviously even out the curve so it sounds normal. That's why if you play records just through like a normal line amp, they sound really tinny with absolutely no bass. It's so that the grooves can handle it. So you're going to need a preamp or a mixer. I've got a mixer because I'm also running the TR8 through it so that I can just switch, you know, between one. So if I want to sample some drums, switch to this side. Want to sample some records, switch it to that side. And so I can also do a bit of EQing, like if I only want the low section, like the bass, I can just take that out like that. So you don't need a mixer, but it gives you a bit more, you know, versatility and stuff. And I've got a maximum of 4 things I can plug in because obviously the MPC's only got 1 input. At this point, it's all still analog. Like, this is obviously a digital sampler, but this is analog. So through the chain, it goes analog, still analog in here, because this doesn't have any computers or stuff. It's just obviously like the circuits, because under there's an actual circuit board. And then as soon as it comes out here, at the back, I've got it coming through these 2 cables here. It comes straight into here. It's still analog going through these wires, obviously, because it's electricity, but right here, it's digital. And the MPCs were famous because they were like some of the first digital samplers. It comes in digital here because it's like a computer. It's obviously not as powerful as a computer. This is how you can get like digital distortion. That's why stuff like 12-bit, 16-bit, and 24-bit is very important, because obviously, as you know, S950 and stuff are 12-bit, which gives you a different sound to this, which is 16-bit. You're going turntable, mixer, your MPC. It's very, very simple. It might get a bit expensive. Well, vinyl is pretty expensive because, first of all, turntable was like £100 to get a decent one. This was like £30. And then MPCs, this is like the cheapest one you can get. It's also really old. I think it's like third hand or something. So this cost me about 150 quid, but 2000s, 3000s. A 3000 can cost you like £2 grand, especially if it's in good condition and stuff. So this is obviously the more expensive, but I like the workflow and stuff like that. It obviously then I just run it straight out of these cables into my speakers in the back of the stereo. So it's not going through any Apple stuff, no modern computers. I just use these 4 things to make it beat. The way that you can do it in your computer, which I'm sure might be more of the way that some of you might do it if you're not using the MPC, is obviously turntable. But you may want to skip out the mixer section, so you might not need to buy a mixer. But if you do that, you're still going to need a preamp, which is, well, a preamp or an interface. So here's my interface. It's obviously got the input here, and then 2 outputs running into the speakers at the back. That is probably one of the cheapest ones you can buy. Again, same common theme here with me and cheap stuff. It's only got 2 mono inputs. You can get more which have like, you know, 8 stereo inputs, but they get up to like £1,000. That was 40, but I think it does the job. And, you know, because I only really use it for scratches and vocals and stuff. You can have a phono preamp again coming out of the turntable. Some turntables even have a phono preamp built into them. I think the Technics 1200 does. This one doesn't, so you've got to run it through a preamp. But if you are running it straight into an interface, you might on your computer, when you just hit record in Logic, you might be able to get like a phono preamp plugin that you can just run over it. That'll basically just be a digital version of the mixer. Computers are obviously much better at recording digital stuff than MPCs. Because it's going like straight into digital, there might be a bit of interference. Basically, the more stuff you run it through, the more of the possibility that it is that it might sound worse. But it is easier to just go straight turntable, interface, computer, rather than all this stuff. Hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what you need. I can't remember who requested this video, but thanks for giving the idea, and I hope this helps you. If you're not subscribed, obviously subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the stuff that I post. And yeah, have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you in the next one.